The bird in front of you is not panicking. It is performing. It calls from one branch, then another. It flies low across your path. It makes itself impossible to ignore. And while you are watching it, something much smaller may be lying completely still in the grass behind you. A young bird, silent, hidden among the leaves and shadows, so well camouflaged that you could look directly at it and see nothing at all. The adult is not trying to warn you about itself. It may be trying to keep you from noticing what is nearby. Today, we are going through 3 ways adult birds protect young birds hidden in your yard, and how to recognize when the bird making the most noise is deliberately pulling your attention away. This is Yardwings Journal, where we uncover the hidden behaviors of backyard birds, one quiet mystery at a time. These behaviors can be understood as 3 layers of protection. The young go silent. The parents conceal their location. And when that is not enough, the adults make themselves impossible to ignore. Let's begin. Before we go further, there is one thing many people misunderstand. A young bird on the ground is not automatically abandoned. Many fledglings leave the nest before they can fly well. They may already have feathers, hop through the grass, and flutter onto low branches, spending several days near the ground while their parents continue to feed them. If a bird is fully feathered, alert, and able to hop, what you are seeing is often a normal stage of development. The parents are nearby. They are often watching from a branch within sight. They are likely aware of exactly where the young bird is and exactly where you are, and they may already be watching you. The first layer of protection, silence. Adult alarm calls do more than warn other adults. They can also signal young birds to freeze, lower themselves, and stop calling. For a fledgling hidden in grass or leaf litter, movement is dangerous. Sound is dangerous. A young bird that stays still can disappear into a patch of ground you have already looked at twice. The baby bird does not need to run anywhere. It does not need a better hiding spot. It only needs to remove every clue it is there. No movement, no sound, no raised head. Research on bird alarm calls suggests they can carry specific information. Not just that danger is near, but details about the type and urgency of the threat. Young birds can recognize and respond to these signals with surprising precision. The yard has not become empty. The bird is still there, inches from where you are standing, pressed into the soil and leaf litter. It has simply stopped giving you any clues at all. And because its speckled brown and gray feathers blend almost perfectly with dry leaves, bark, and shadow, the stillness makes the camouflage complete. But keeping the young bird silent is only the first layer. The parents must also avoid accidentally pointing to exactly where it is. The second layer, restraint. A parent carrying food may know exactly where the young bird is hidden, but if you are nearby, it will often refuse to approach. Flying directly to the fledgling would reveal its location. So the adult waits. It moves through nearby branches. It calls from a distance. It may hold food in its beak for several minutes, watching for you to leave. To a person standing in the yard, this looks like neglect. It is often the opposite. The parent is protecting the fledgling by refusing to point it out. The longer you stand there waiting for the parents to return, the more reason they have to keep waiting for you to leave. Sometimes, the most protective thing a parent can do is not go to its baby. Parents may also spread the young across separate hiding spots, one under a fence, one inside a shrub, one in tall grass. If one is discovered, the entire brood is not exposed at once. Calls near the young become shorter, quieter, harder to locate. Contact without a trail. Once the area becomes quiet, feeding usually resumes. 2 layers are working. The young bird is silent. The parent reveals nothing. The third strategy does something completely different. Instead of disappearing, the adult makes itself impossible to ignore. The third layer, redirecting attention. The simplest version is also the most effective. The adult perches somewhere highly visible, a bare branch, a fence post, the opposite side of the yard, and calls loudly from there. Your eyes follow it. Naturally, the fledgling is somewhere else entirely. Still, silent. The easiest bird to see in the yard may be protecting the one that is almost impossible to find. The parent does not need to think about this. Evolution has already done the work. Individuals that positioned themselves away from the young and called loudly from exposed places raised more young that survived. The behavior stayed. Some adults move. They run directly ahead of you. They fly a short distance, land, then keep going. They call. They maintain just enough distance to hold your attention while continuing to move farther from the young. The behavior has the effect of drawing a potential threat away from the hidden bird. If you ever find yourself following a bird that seems just slightly too easy to follow, one that always stays just ahead, always within sight, never quite disappearing, stop. Turn around. Look back at where you came from. The bird was not trying to escape. You may have been walking away from the very thing it was trying to protect. The most dramatic version is the broken wing display. The adult drops close to the ground. One wing hangs low. It staggers. It flutters. It appears injured and very easy to catch. It is not injured. The parent is presenting itself as the more obvious target, making sure the threat follows it rather than searching the area behind it. As the threat follows, the bird moves steadily farther from the young. Then, once the distance is safe, it flies away normally. The wing was never broken. The performance works because danger is naturally drawn toward what looks vulnerable. The parent has not forgotten how to fly. It is making itself the obvious target, the one that looks easy, so that the hidden bird behind you is no longer the focus. It is betting that you will follow the injured-looking bird in front of you, instead of searching for the one you cannot see. When distraction is not enough, some adults move to direct pressure. They fly close overhead. They dive and veer at the last moment. They call sharply and continuously. Their goal is usually not to make contact. It is to make the area uncomfortable enough to leave. Other birds may join. The mate arrives. Sometimes birds of different species respond to the alarm and add their voices to the protest. This is mobbing. Research on mobbing shows it is effective across many predator types and can draw in multiple species quickly from a single alarm call. When the entire yard seems to be protesting your presence, the birds that matter most are the ones you cannot hear at all. How do you recognize when this is happening? An adult bird that keeps calling from different nearby positions. A parent holding food but refusing to fly down. A bird that repeatedly watches one particular shrub or corner of the yard. One that flies low across your path and keeps moving. One that appears injured and then gradually moves farther from you. Several birds suddenly calling or circling at once. None of these signs proves that a young bird is directly beneath you. But each one is the adult's protective system working exactly as it was designed to. And together, they tell you one thing clearly: the area deserves more space, not less. The most telling sign of all, when you step back several meters, the adult usually goes quiet within moments and disappears into the vegetation. It no longer needs you to look in the wrong direction. If you believe young birds may be nearby, the most useful thing you can do is leave. Walk away. Go indoors or watch from a window. Keep children out of the area. Keep dogs leashed and cats indoors. Delay mowing or trimming. Do not stand beside the bird waiting for parents to return. Your presence is likely the reason they are holding back. Do not offer food or pour water into its beak. If a feathered fledgling is in an unsafe location, a road, a driveway, you can move it a short distance into nearby cover. The parents can usually relocate it through its calls and continued contact. Do not move a healthy fledgling simply because it is on the ground. That is where it is supposed to be. The most common mistake is also the most understandable one. Standing nearby, waiting for the parents to return, believing you are helping by watching over it. You are not. Your presence is the reason the parents are not coming back. There are situations where a bird may genuinely need help. A fledgling that is bleeding, cannot stand, has a wing or leg at an abnormal angle, is cold and unresponsive, is nearly featherless, or is in immediate danger from traffic. Any bird that has been caught by a cat or dog should be assessed by a wildlife rehabilitator, even if no wound is visible. Puncture wounds from teeth or claws are often not immediately apparent, but can become serious quickly. If intervention is needed, contact a licensed wildlife rehabilitator. Do not attempt to raise or treat the bird yourself. 3 strategies. The young bird becomes silent because the parent has signaled it to. The parent avoids revealing the fledgling's location by holding back, calling from a distance, approaching only when the threat has gone, and when necessary, the adult redirects all attention toward itself, becoming as loud and visible as it needs to be. Silence, restraint, distraction, all happening in a yard that may look completely ordinary from your window. The next time a bird calls repeatedly near you, flies low across your path, or seems strangely unwilling to leave, stop before you take another step. It may not be defending a nest above you. It may be keeping an almost invisible life alive right beneath your feet. So step back. Give the area time. Because the loudest bird in the yard may be protecting a life so quiet that you could walk past it without ever knowing it was there. If you have ever seen a bird behave this way, calling repeatedly, flying low across your path, or appearing injured, tell us in the comments what it did. And did you later realize young birds may have been nearby? Subscribe to Yardwings Journal for more hidden bird behavior happening just outside your window. The next video goes somewhere most backyard birders have never thought to look. We will see you there.